In this morning's Health Watch, what singles want. There are about 100 million single people in this country, and a new survey asked 5,200 of them what they're actually looking for when it comes to love. And the results are very surprising. Early Show contributor and psychologist Dr. Jennifer Hartstein has the numbers for us this morning. And these are really going to, I think, surprise a lot of people because they really kind of flip things upside down.
They absolutely did flip things upside down, surprisingly.
Let's start with the male mind. What is the man thinking
mind.
in the whole single world thing?
Well, what they found was that amongst the 21 to 24-year-old and 50 and older, there is a greater desire to marry. So there's that age in the middle where women probably want to be married more, especially because of their kids, but they have that. But men across the board want to have kids more than women do.
That is a little bit surprising. Well, what about, let's turn it on the other side now and talk about women. What do they want? Because I think most people think, well, the women were the ones that really want the kids.
And historically, that's been true. But what they actually found was that women surprisingly want more personal space. They have their own interests and hobbies, and they want to have built-in girls' night out as often as they can get them.
So why do you think these roles are all of a sudden now reversed? Because if you took away the colors of those backgrounds, I think you could probably sit back and be like, well, that sounds like the guy, and that sounds like the gal.
It is really turning everything we've known on its ear. And I think a lot of it is that women are in a different position now than they were 30, 40, 50 years ago. They really don't have to be married to be happy. They don't have to worry about a man to provide for them. They can do a lot of that themselves.
Was there a shift over the last couple of years where things all of a sudden started to turn? Was it 5 years ago, 10 years ago?
It's hard to say. It looks like it's been a gradual change, but it's definitely been happening over time.
Another thing that we often talk about and love at first sight, it sounds so great. And, the numbers there are a little bit surprising as well.
They are. And what they found was that 54% of men believe in love at first sight. They believe that it can happen, whereas only 44% of women believe in love at first sight.
Now, why is that? Because, again, you often hear about women talking about this more than men.
Right. Well, I was discussing this actually with my husband about it, and we were really talking about, like, well, what's the definition of love? Is it really love? Is it not? And we both kind of came to the conclusion that maybe it's that men are more impulsive emotionally on that first meeting, whereas women are much more logical about where it's going to go.
All right. Hookups, one-night stands. Has the playing field changed? I mean, has the landscape changed there? Or,
Yes.
I mean, can you have a successful relationship?
You can. They found that 35% of people have a one-night stand and actually turns into a long-term relationship.
Really?
Really. It is very different than what we used to think about it.
Did that surprise you?
Yes, that actually did surprise me, although I do know some people where that has been true.
Okay, and let's talk about Valentine's Day because it's 10 days away. And there are, like we said, hundreds of millions of single people out there. So do you have any tips for them as Valentine's Day does fast approach and how they can potentially meet that other person?
Meet that person? I do. So the first thing is you want to give second chances. One of the other things this study said was about 3/4 of the people didn't like the person the first time they met them, but gave them a second chance. So you also want to pursue interests, do things you like. Maybe you'll meet people at that cooking class. Maybe you'll meet them at the sports bar. Be open-minded and take care of yourself. Be confident, and you'll meet someone that's confident and recognizes your own confidence.
So just kind of be careful with yourself, be comfortable with yourself rather, and go to spots you maybe wouldn't normally go to.
Absolutely. It brings people to you the more confident you are. I don't know, Chris, you got to try it.
They sound like some great tips. They sound like some great tips.
It could work.
Dr. Hartstein, good to see you this morning.
You too.